Hi, welcome you once again for this throws exception handling method. Whenever is exception rising inside a method, it needs to be handled by using the try catch black or throws exception handling method by passing that exception to the calling method using throws keyword. Here first we will see this method by handling the code by defining inside the try block. Okay, this is the code which is which is raising the exception inside the method. So we are transferring that code inside the try block. So if any exception raised by this block of code, it will be handled by catch class. Here we have to represent the exception type of that exceptions raised here. Otherwise, another method is we can use throws keyword by passing that uh, exceptions which are rising by method to the calling method. So here the method we are defining here, and it is having some number of lines of code. You assume that exceptions are raised in this lines of code. Once the exceptions are raised, which is throwing by using throws keyword, and those exceptions type like IO exception or class not found exception, file not found exception, that exception types has to be mentioned here. And also one more thing, there is the possibility of n number of exceptions. If n number of exceptions are raised, those n number of exceptions type should be mentioned here. That's why it should be mentioned in the form of list until n number of exception type. Then after raising these exceptions, it should be throwing to the method which is calling inside the main method. Inside the main method we are calling this method, so we are transferring or throwing those exceptions into the position where it is called. So here this method is available inside the try block. So these exceptions are available inside the try block, then those are handled by using catch class here. So this variable is storing the values which are raised by this exceptions and giving the notification to the user. So that's what I have explained here. User need to handle this exception in the calling method here by using throws keyword which are passing into the calling method. Use throws keyword in the method declaration to declare the list of exceptions. That's what I have said here. List of exceptions are declared in the method definition or method signature itself to throw that list of exceptions into the calling method. Then we will see example here by importing the necessary package and classes. Then throws ex is the class name. Here I am defining the method name find file. Access specifier is public and static, and return type is void. Then I am throwing the exceptions which are rising inside the method is closing here find file. Then here I am passing only single exception, that is IO exception. My objective is here I am reading the file d colon, right, then test.text. This file is available or not, just we will check that here. Inside the D drive, the file test is available, that is highlighted here. I have opened that file test.txt, which is having 4 lines of code. First line is hi, then welcome to OOP slot, then third line is blank line, then fourth one is all the best. So here this file is having 4 lines of code. The file is read by using the file input stream, which is having the object variable small s, which is receiving the new file object here. Then it is identifying the length of this given file. The length of the given file is here 39 bytes. For example, I have right clicked over the test.text file, then I got this test file size here 39 bytes. For your reference, I have given this window. Then which is reading the data from the input of which is received from the new file. Then here first which is reading byte by byte, so which is reading this hi, right? So here which is checking, right, the I is which is not equal to -1, then which is printing character of I, which we are converting typecasting integer values converted into character, then which is printing the h here. Then again we are reading next byte is here we are reading for the I, then which is going back again, which is not equal to -1, yes it is true, then which is printing the next character I, so which is printing here. So like that, which is printing until which is reaching the end of the file, then which is closing the file. Then the file close, after the closing the method is over here. Inside the main method here you see the method is calling over here, right? The find file is calling here. So once it is calling from the main method, the control is passing over here. If there is any exception raised in this method, right, then it will be passing into this position. Once the exceptions received here, then it will be handled by catch class. But in this example there is no exception raised, okay, because everything is perfect, because that file is existing in the D drive as we have seen. So there is no exception raised here, then catch class is not coming into the picture, so this line is not executing as of now. That's why just we are getting the output as file size is 39 bytes, so that is given from this statement. Then we are reading the file and printing over here byte by byte, so only those lines are given here. So 4 lines, one is the blank line, then the remaining 3 are having the content. So here the no exceptions are raised and which is not throwing because of the no exceptions. The next example here, throw ex2 2 and find file is the method. Here again we are throwing the IO exception. Here I am reading the next file test1.txt. You see test1.txt is not available. I will show you here. You see there is only file test available, there is no test1.txt, so it will raise the exception file not found. If that exception is raised by this lines of code, 2 lines of code, then here we should check either it is handled or not. No, we didn't handle here by using try catch. Here we didn't handle this exception inside the method. So inside the method there is no code to handle this exception. So what will be happen? It should be thrown by using throws keyword. Yes, I am throwing this exception into the calling method calling place. So here this exception is passing into this place. Then here you see that exception is available inside the try block inside in the main method. Then this exception can be handled by this catch class. So here we are using that same exception class we have to use here, okay, IO exception, then which is storing the value which is displaying over here. You see the output is giving file not found exception. Okay, file not found exception is the subclass to the IO class. Okay, subclass to the IO exception class, right? So this is sub exception to IO exception, right? So that's what it is saying. The system cannot find out the file which is specified in the location d:/test1.txt. Then next example is here having throws exe3, and here you see I am not using throws IO exception, right? Actually in the previous example we have used throws IO exception, but here I am not using throws IO exception. So here I am not handling the exception which is raising this line, because the test1.txt is not available, that has been seen in the previous slide itself. And if the file is not available, exception will be raised, but this exception is not handled inside the method, and also we are not throwing by using the throws keyword also. So we did not handle this exception. Now what will happen, it will generate the error during the compilation time. You see, during the compilation time itself, which is showing the error, unreported exception, file not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. So here either it has to be caught inside the method, or it should be thrown in the method declaration or signature itself. And another error is exception, IO exception is never thrown. So never IO exception is thrown here in the body of the try statement. So these two kinds of error are raised during the compilation time, because these exceptions are not handled inside the method, or we are not throwing that exception to calling method, right? And here you see that is explained by using the example. Find file is the method, right? How do we overcome this? Okay, we can overcome this by using throws keyword here, by introducing the IO exception in the method signature itself, then it will be thrown. And also the main method calls this method and handles the exception as it is shown here. So main method is calling that find file method, and which is handling that exception which is throwing from the method which is defined here, then that is handled by using the catch class. Here the method, exception should be similar what we have declared here. Thanks for watching.